Hi, welcome to my platform. I'm just excited today, even though it is gloomy outside, but I'm excited today. I want to briefly come on and just talk about sassy, classy, and trashy. Yeah. Some people love to be sassy, showing off, da da da, look what I got, look what I done. Then you have that classy, sophisticated person, okay? And then you have the trashy side. They very confused one day, they want to be classy or sassy, then, but they dress trashy. And another thing about trashy, they call each other bees, thinking that, that is great, that, is elegant or something. I don't know. But you have those types of people out here that will think that they classy or call themselves classy, but the way they dress, you see the butt cheeks, you see the boobs out, and the way they carry themselves and the way they talk, foul language to one another, and they laugh about it. I would never, ever allow someone to call me a B word and think it's okay. It's not okay, you know. So it depends on how you look at it and how you carry yourself. But being trashy is being trashy. And for some lady or someone to call me out of my name instead of my name, and you're saying you're joking, or that's just a new slang word today, that's not cool with me. That's unacceptable. I look at my mom, how she always have been a classy lady, and she taught me well to be a classy lady. Sometime when we are growing up, we get off track and want to see things our way. So we begin to explore different avenues and try to figure out things on our own when we're young. And excuse me. So some of the things that I figured out at an early age, it took me a minute, especially when I was in school, high school, thinking, I'm going out here, I'm a party, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to live my life. Well, I found out quickly that wasn't the life that I wanted to live, partying all the time, doing my thing, having a foul language or a foul mouth, which I never did call someone out of their name unless I didn't like that person. So that was back when I was growing up and learning new things, learning about life in general. At least I thought I knew about life, but when I look back over my life, I really didn't know anything about life. I was just experimenting, trying to figure out some things, and I finally got it. So I want to talk about classy, sassy, and trashy, especially classy and trashy, because in the time that we are living in, I look at social media, for instance, and I see a lot of young ladies, thinking that it's okay to show their body parts, and they don't be shame about it. They think that's cute. They think that is the way to go and attract someone. But all of the truth of the matter is that they attracting people just like them that are trashy. When you go on social media, and the world, not only your friends are watching this, but the world, if you're getting a job or you're trying to go somewhere in life, all they have to do is look on social media and find out about you, how you carry yourself, how you entertain people, how you interact with people, how you handle life in general. And when they look on your page and see butt cheeks, the first thing that they see are your tongue sticking out, and maybe you have a fruit in your mouth like a banana or a cucumber, and you are holding that. We all know what that represents, even in the Christian world. Also, if you don't have your cheeks out, your butt cheeks out, then you have your boobs out, and you showing that to the world. I don't consider that classy. I consider that as trashy. Don't know any better. Are you looking for a father figure? Is something missing in your life that you did not have when you was growing up? Maybe you didn't have the love that you needed from your father or from your mother. Maybe you're trying to attract a lot of friends, and you think that is the way. You think that you get a lot of attraction that way, being sassy, or you being trashy with your mouth or your body language. It could be a lot of things. Then it could be a mental issue. So I want to put it in a way that it's not offensive, but then too, I want you to really think about your lifestyle and how it may not impact you now, but later in life, if you decide to not live that life and you want to straighten up your life, the pictures and the posts that you make on social media will come back and haunt you. And what I mean about that, someone will pull it up one day and they will look at it, well, this is what she did, this is what he done, and they will bring it to you or bring it to your supervisor or whoever. I'm just saying, it's really embarrassing when that happened. I remember when someone was trying to move up, and I would not call her name. She was trying to move up in rank, and they brought some old pictures. They pulled it up, and they brought some old pictures to me and some more people who was on the board, and etc., etc. And they wanted her to explain why she was doing that, why she did that in the past, And she really got offensive and said, my life is my life. That's my personal life. Well, when you put yourself out there for the world to see, I'm getting a little hot. The world can pull up all that. I know it's your personal life, but when you post things on social media, it's everybody's business. It becomes everybody's business. And it's not your personal life anymore, because you done already opened it up to the world to see. This is you and your lifestyle, So I look at social media all the time, and how some of these young ladies, I don't know if it's the teaching, the way they was brought up, or something they just picked up along the way and want to fit into the cliques. I don't know. I can't answer for them. But when I look at some of the pages, I get embarrassed because, especially if I know you and you are carrying out like that, it makes me embarrassed to know that I know someone who dresses inappropriate. So, or they may be at a party or a club, and they are really out there. You know, when I say out there, dancing wild, the clothes that they wear and the boobs are hanging out and the dress too short, and when you walk you can see the cheeks, the butt cheeks. And but my thing is, a classy lady will watch out how she walks, how she talks, how she dresses, how she approaches someone, and she will never call anyone out of their names. You know, the B word seem like today, in today's society, it's a slang. It's the new thing. You call everybody a B. Well, everybody don't want to be called that, you know. But a classy lady will make sure before she goes out, she's put together, you know, in her wardrobe. Nothing's hanging out, you know. She don't want anything to be seen. She wants to be covered and be respected, you know. And a trashy lady don't care how she go out, you know. She wants to be noticed, you know. She wants to be seen. She wants that attention, and she thinks she's looking good. In my days, we used to say, "Oh, you think you're looking fly." That was good. That was another word of, she thinks she's looking good. So, excuse me. There was a time when I was experimenting, and some of you might be experimenting. I mean, figure out who you want to be, you know. But there was a time when I was experimenting. I was 18 years old and thought I was grown. I had graduated, and I'm like, I'm living my life. I'm going to do this thing. And at that time, around 18 or 20, I believe it was Daisy Dukes, as they call them. I tried those things. I tried Daisy Dukes. I tried the mini skirts. I tried all of that. But when I tried it, I felt conviction. I felt out of place. I felt like, you know, this is really not me. But it was in style. And I tried to keep up with the styles. And I learned quickly that, you know, it's making me feel uncomfortable. So it was a style, and I decided not to keep up with some of those styles, you know. So I dropped the miniskirts, I dropped the Daisy Dukes, and brought it on down a little bit more, you know, to where I felt comfortable, to where I knew that one day I will have to answer for that. So I felt comfortable enough, because one thing I thought about as well, that I have a son, and I didn't want him to look at me in a certain way. I didn't want to carry myself in a certain way, knowing that one day he's going to grow up and be a man. And I didn't want him to have any negative impact on his mother. And I didn't want him to hear in the streets about a foul woman, a trashy woman. So I decided real quick that wasn't the lifestyle for me. I was experimenting, and when I turned 20, I'm like, Daisy Dukes is not for me. Mini skirts was not for me. Party life, clubbing was not for me, you know. So I decided at an early age that lifestyle was not for me. So I began to change my lifestyle for the better. And once I began to change my lifestyle, I had to move some people out of my life that loved to party, that loved to dress provocative, that kind of loose, you know, a loose woman, as the Bible speaks, call them loose woman, which was really trashy women. So I had to make sure that I do not associate with those people, because that I chose not to do that. That wasn't my lifestyle. I grew up in a home where my mother was a classy lady and still is to this day. I respect her, and she respects me. So she taught me well. Sometimes we can be taught very well, but we want to branch out and kind of feel on our own and get to know if this is the lifestyle that we want to choose, or we'll go back, or we return back to what we once knew, you know, the upbringing and everything. So I went and I got in the hog pen. But once I got in the hog pen, where the hogs and the slop was going on, and I looked around and I decided to go back home. Don't that passage of scripture sound familiar? So I had to experiment life. And once I experimented life and found out, no, this is not the lifestyle for me, let me go back home, where I have been taught to respect myself and respect others, to be decent, and to be a lady. So once I went back home and began to strategize and, you know, put some things in place to become the woman that I am today, I'm so grateful and thankful that I didn't go down the wrong path. Because many are led down the wrong path, and a lot of women don't like to be led down the wrong path. They just do it because others are doing it, and they trying to fit in. But some decide, you know, I'm going to think for myself. You know, I wasn't raised like this. I wasn't brought up like this. So let me go back home and let me wash the slate clean, and let me start over and do what I know I'm supposed to be doing. So then you have the sassy women. Speaking of sassy, I know one right today, you know, been sassy all her life, you know, with the clubs, with the guys, the dressing and doing things that wasn't right. And this person is still doing it today. And she's well in her 60s, almost 70. And she loves to be sassy. She loves to be seen. She's out front and center. And she wants to be seen. She wants to fit in the crowds. You know, she wants to be young and act young, which nothing's wrong with that, to each his own. But it's the way that we carry ourselves. It's the maturity should be able to set in at a certain age. As we get older, we should be examples and setting examples and teaching the younger women how to respect themselves, how to respect their bodies, and how to dress accordingly. You know what I mean? So But then you have some of these ladies that never grow up, and I don't care how old they get, they still think they still have it, which is okay. If you think that, so is he. So is a man think it, so is he. But being a classy lady, it's not hard to do. It's not hard to do, especially if you have been brought up like that. It's instilled in you, and can't nobody take that away from you. People get it confused, thinking that you're high society, you're stuck up, you think you all of that, but it's because of your upbringing that they don't understand that that's the way you was brought up. I get that all the time, that they think that I'm stuck up, I'm high society, high-minded, whatever. But it's the upbringing, because my mom always have been a classy lady. She's always been a businesswoman. She never had work for nobody but herself. She was a hairstylist over 40-some years. She owned her own shop, and my mother worked hard for everything that she wanted. She always lived in nice areas, even when we was in apartments. Then she brought her own home, and it was in a nice area. She drove nice, fine cars. She dressed well. She carried herself well. People respected her, and people knew her in the communities. Even when she was out there working, my mother carried herself in a ladylike manner, and everyone that would come into her shop respected her. She was smart, bright, intelligent. She still is to this day, and she managed her finances well. Everything that my mother did was excellent, straight down to the point, and people that did not understand her, they did the same thing to her. They couldn't understand her. They think she was sophisticated, up, high-minded, all of it, So, but one thing about my mom, she didn't let that get to her, because she knew who she was. Just like I do. I know who I am. So, what people think about me, yes, the words hurt, but I keep pushing, and I'll just, send out a sweet little prayer to them, and I keep going. But when you know who you are, people will respect you, When you carry yourself in a ladylike manner, people will respect you. But when you dress and act wild and do all these wild things just to be seen, and the words that come out of your mouth, all these foul words and everything, then when you call yourself a B, and allow other people to call yourself a B or H, then you're putting a label on yourself, and they would not respect you, because you allowed them to call you out of your name. And once that happens, it becomes familiar. It becomes comfortable to you, as well as the person that's calling you out of your name. And I can remember some people that I know today. They started off rough, just like I did, started off, but they caught on very quickly and realized that wasn't the lifestyle that they wanted. So now some of them are in higher positions and doing very, very well for themselves. You know what I mean? And some will come around and, some are too busy to stop and really enjoy life. They just work, 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 work. And when you look at those people, and if you don't understand where they came from and they old lifestyle and the lifestyle that they live in now, you would think that they stuck up. You would think that they done got up on their feet now. They don't know nobody. But that's not the case. That's not the case. You got to remember that people want to change. They work hard to change because it starts up in the mindset. And once you turn the mindset around and you start putting it to action, the word that's coming out of your mouth, instead of trying to convince people, you convince yourself that you can do it. And you're not doing it for nobody else but yourself. Self-improvement. So once you put it in your mind that, hey, I got to do something about myself, because what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing out of my mouth, and I'm looking in the mirror, that I don't like this lifestyle. So I have to change. I can be the change agent. I must be the change agent. For whatever reason that may be, then you go for it. Especially if it's good and it's going to benefit you. You go for it. You go for it. Because the main thing and the most important thing is pleasing you. This is your life. But make sure whatever lifestyle you choose, that you don't offend the other person. That you respect your children if you have children. Because one day they're going to grow up. And the things and the rumors that they hear and the things that you did in front of them, it's going to come back to you, whether it's good or bad. And you have to be held accountable for your actions. What are you going to say to your child if you out there on the pole and they walk in and they see mama coming out of the script club, just got off a pole? What are you going to say when they see mama having men in and out of the home and you coming out of the bedroom with a different man every night? What are you going to say? What are you going to say, mama? When they see you're never at home spending time with them, but you out and about doing your thing, living your life, instead of being there with your children and teaching them and educating them, what are you going to say? What are you going to say when they see you out there doing drugs or shooting up in front of them, and you telling them to go back to their room and you so high? Drinks are all over the table and all over the house, drugs.